Ladies and gentlemen, I have with me Salt Papi, aka Buster Breezy, aka Super Salt Papi, aka the new Salt Bay, aka still 100% HP, 200% shields. Salt Papi in the building. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. That was a great introduction, bro.
Hey, we got to give an intro to the biggest talk right now in the internet on the whole scene right now. Salt Papi, what a pleasure to have you on. I mean, fight night has already happened a few weeks ago, but how are you feeling now at this point? Now that you got to reflect on it.
I feel great. There's nothing better than beating somebody that trains really hard to beat you, and me coming on top. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's not a better
See,
feeling. It's not a better feeling, man. I mean, before we get into anything, I was watching Munya Chihuahua's latest sketch. Now, I don't know if you know about Munya Chihuahua.
no, I don't know.
So he's an internet comedian. He's been killing it over the past couple of years, especially during the pandemic times as well. And I instantly thought, what if we had you and Munya Chihuahua? If you were to check him out, like he's really popular, he's really big, and you two do a sketch together, I would just see it as magic, bro.
Why not, man? I'm gonna have to check him out.
Yeah, he's been popular. He's been popular for quite a number of years now, bro. Like he's killing it on
Yeah.
TikTok, killing it on Instagram. So when you check him, that will just be like, oh, that I'm seeing fireworks already.
Why is he a boxer too, or
No, he's not a boxer. He's a comedian, presenter, journalist. But he's been killing it over the past couple of years, my bro.
how can you send me his link to his TikTok?
I will. As soon as I come out of this call, I will send you all the links, man. Like I will not steer you wrong, my bro. Well, like I said, congratulations on your win against Josh Brueckner. I mean, you become the talking point instantly overnight. I mean, you've been like killing it over your last couple of fights. You skyrocketed to fame in this YouTube boxing scene. I mean, how does it feel now that you're doing a lot of interviews, you're being talked about a lot? How does it feel for your work to be fully recognized at this point, knowing that you're a very skilled natural southpaw in the ring?
And I really started from the bottom. I'm only been in the social media scene for like over a year. So I just can't believe that I really made it this far. I've always been a fan of boxing growing up, watching Manny Pacquiao, trying to imitate him. Never had access to boxing gym growing up until last year when I was like training properly twice a day, every day, sparring the best of the best, amateur, elite, professionals. And I was actually doing good. I was impressed with myself. Like my coach saw something in me, and I worked really hard. And that's how I managed to get myself to this position.
Because it's funny, you just said that your influence is Manny Pacquiao. Like you mentioned quite a number of interviews, that's your inspiration. When you started to watch boxing for the first time and he came on, like how did he inspire you to really push it to, to being the person you are in the boxing scene?
I mean, Manny Pacquiao, he started from the bottom as well. He was very poor. I watched all his story, and I felt kind of the same way. He's southpaw, I'm southpaw, and yeah, I want to be like him.
Mm. So you want to emulate the success that he's had. So it's kind of like the similar story, really, of how you both have been coming up. And I've seen in your interview with Slim that when you were younger, like you were teased a lot in school, but
Yeah,
you're the one that were punching people up to just say, look, enough's enough.
I
Like
have
it is what it is.
to.
How did you mentally flip it to becoming like, because obviously we know your sort of character, your flair in terms of like obviously when you approach your opponents, you're getting into their heads with the bite lip, with the rubbing hands and stuff like that. And obviously I know you've been doing it on TikTok. How did you flip it to become like the character that we see and also like the confidence that we see with you now?
I mean, I just realized that people will like me just the way I am. I don't have to pretend to be somebody else, and that's what I'm showing to the world.
Mm. Because I remember with your first fight with Hello Ham, and I remember in a lot of like interview coverage, you didn't say too much. You kept yourself as like a mystery. I felt like it was
Yeah.
almost like you were portraying like a WWE character, like the Undertaker, like how for the past 30 years, like he's maintained like a character, and now that we get to see him as Mark Calloway, as who he is now, was this like a way for you in, like keeping the mystique as, people trying to figure out who you are, like, what's this guy about? Like, was it a conscious thing that you wanted to become like a character so that people can be like, oh, who's this guy? Like, oh, like he's not saying much, but when he gets in the ring, he backs it up.
Well, during fight week with Halal Ham, I was actually unwell. I had a
Okay.
cold, so my voice was a little bit like, and also I was a bit shy with camera. Like I don't really want to talk. Like, I'm still working on my personal character development. As you
Yeah.
guys can see, like with Halal Ham, I didn't really want to talk. And also I wear glasses, so on fight during the fight day on the ring, I can't really see the audience. All
Ah.
my focus, all my focus was Halal Ham.
Okay. Because it's interesting how you said like you weren't really a camera guy, and now like the cameras are on you
Yeah.
and you're just thriving on it now. Like, I mean, even being on TikTok for the past year, like you were saying, like, you would have fooled us in thinking that you were never like, reserved or, not saying too much and blah, blah, blah. So like, how did you just build up your confidence to get to the point of like, you know what, the cameras are on me. I don't give a shit. I'm showing the Salt Papi that people need to see.
Well, I'm confident with my skill. That's
Mm,
where I get my confidence from.
mm.
Like with dancing, all the stuff on TikTok
Yes,
is because
yes.
I'm confident with it.
Yeah.
And also with boxing, I know what I can do in the ring, and I know some of these guys aren't on my level because I'm sparring the best of the best. I'm training in the best boxing gym
Mm,
in Hertfordshire. Shout out to Hackwall Boxing Gym and to
mm.
my coach Solomon and my brothers, my dad. Yeah, my friends, they're all here watching. Yeah.
Jeez. Big up to your friends, man. Big up to all the camp, man. I mean, like you just mentioned about like you were street dancing. I remember we were talking about this at Media Workout, and like I'm just wondering if you doing street dancing from back in the day, because I saw like some of your older content to now, has that allowed you in terms of like the skills that you did in dancing to be as natural as a southpaw in the ring? Did that go hand in hand?
I mean, I think from dancing, I probably develop a really good balance. Really make boxing footwork easy for me to do,
Hmm.
and make it easier for me to perform in front of many people because I used to dance in front of like many people in the streets. I used to join Britain's Got Talent, like got to dance competitions back in the days when I was younger, and I felt like that's what made me comfortable performing in front of many people.
Mm. I loved how you put on Twitter, like I think it was like a day or two ago, like you put a picture up of the Undertaker and Paul Bearer, and how you compared yourself to you and Keemstar to the Undertaker and Paul Bearer. What a classic reference, bro! Because I saw that, I thought like, yep, yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right. Like Keemstar being the manager figure, like you being the Undertaker. Was the Undertaker one of your favorite WWE superstars? I'm curious. Like, have you ever been a WWE guy?
100%, man. And the thing is the shit.
Yeah. Was
I
it?
watch most all his fight, like always like fight in WWE.
Yeah. Was he your favorite WWE superstar?
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
So because it makes sense actually, because I know that when you do the like the slit to the
Yeah,
throat, I know that he
that
does
you
that
know.
as well. Was that inspired by the Undertaker?
Of course, of course.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. What was your favorite Undertaker match? Is there one that sticks out? That, I mean, obviously you liked his stuff. Was there a match that you really loved of his?
It's probably the one with Kane.
Are we talking about the what? There's quite a number of ones. We talk about the Inferno match with the there was quite
It's
a
probably
number.
I think it's probably the Inferno. Yeah,
The one that had the fire surrounding the ring.
yeah. But it's
Yeah.
been a long time since I watched those videos, so I probably
Mm,
forgot. I used
okay.
to watch him when I was young.
Okay, so now I see where all of this is coming from. That makes total sense. I'm loving all of that. Okay, cool. So I mean, let's get into it with you and Josh. You both put up a hell of a fight, and I have to even commend Josh for working it in there with you for 2 rounds. You definitely showed your confidence in the first round mostly, and I know that you were kind of bringing him into your trap in terms of like you were taunting him a lot, whilst maintaining your composure. You kept a good distance. Was that your way of getting into the zone, like we were talking about the confidence earlier? Was that a way of just trying to reel him in and stuff like that, while as the fight was progressing?
I think I'll fight well when I speak with my opponent. That's one of my skill. Being able to stay calm and doing what I do best. And obviously, I was trying to lure him in because counter punching is one of my best skill.
Yes.
And yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, like, because when you were taunting him, and it was just like, is that it? Like, it was like, is that all you got? Like, you know what I mean? You really taunted him, like, in confidence. Is that when it? Because obviously, this is the first time that we're really seeing, like, showcasing what you can do in the ring. Is that what you would naturally do in terms of, like, you would talk to your opponent and go like, come on, man, like, well, because even you were doing this, like, I think it was something that you were trying to say to him, look, let's fight like we're fighting for the belt or something. Was that what you were trying to
yeah,
do?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I said exactly. Because
Yeah.
he won that IC belt like back then with Chase. So I wanted him to fight me like we were fighting for the belt. Like I want him to go in, like fight me,
Mm.
and let's see what you can do.
I see what you're doing. So I mean, like, obviously, when you had your first clean hit on him, like, I could tell you were definitely feeling it. You were like, "Yep, all right, cool, we're rumbling, let's go." And when you got into your corner, like, I noticed that from the replay of the fight, the coaches were saying to you, like, put the pressure on Josh, but don't be stupid. Like, what was it they were meaning at the time?
So me, my dad, and my brothers was telling me to stop showboating.
Mm,
They wanted me to focus and yeah, I asked my coach if it's time to push, time to pressure,
mm,
and he told me, yeah, you can pressure, but don't be stupid.
mm. I mean, how did you feel in Josh's performance in general? Because I know that he held it on for 2 rounds. Like, obviously, it seemed like you were a little bit more creative in your approaches to it, and as he got his flow in terms of, there was a few hits that he laid on you. But how
Mm.
did you feel that when Josh was approaching you, trying to approach with the jabs? Like, how did you approach it to either counteract it, or like, what were you looking when you were seeing at Josh when he was facing you?
One of my best skills is being able to distance myself from my opponent, and obviously I'm a southpaw, so it makes it hard for them to land a jab.
Mm.
And yeah, obviously Josh was bigger, stronger than me, and I wanted him to respect my punch.
Mm.
So that's why he couldn't get in.
Mm. Did you guys talk after the match? Like, did you speak with each other afterwards? Did you commend each other? Like, what happened afterwards?
Yeah, I spoke to him. I went to his room, and yeah, he said that he didn't expect the trash talk. Yeah, he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. Yeah, he couldn't believe how powerful my punch was. Yeah, but it was like I was the man of the night, and yeah.
Because obviously when it got to the second round and Josh brought more offense in, but you were still able to counterpunch like you were saying earlier. What was going through your mind? Like, were you aiming to go for the knockout, or like, because where he was going in with a bit more offense? What was your mind state at that point? Were you aiming for the knockout, or were you aiming to put more pressure on Josh?
I wasn't really going for the knockout. I don't really go for them. It just happens, I believe. And yeah, he took one of my best punch.
Yeah.
He went down and he couldn't get up.
Mm,
I also took some damage from Josh.
mm.
It got me in the nose, so my nose is a little bit like damaged.
Oh wow.
I got bruise on my face, but
Yeah.
yeah, I told him when he got me, I told him, "It's all you got, man. It's all you got."
Wow. I mean, did it surprise you, like, that you got the KO on Josh, or was it just
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
that?
I was very shocked. Yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it myself. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it must have taken a second, and then afterwards, then it was just like, yeah, I'm done. That's it, KO, I'm
Yeah.
done. Because we
That's
saw
it.
you celebrate afterwards. So, but I got to commend you both for putting a hell of a fight in the ring. You know, one of the most talked about. I mean, even on I think on the Zone YouTube channel, I think you were the highest viewed fight of the night. I mean, how does it feel that so many people were just so intrigued to see you and Josh in the ring?
Yes, sir. I think I got a lot of Filipino fans back in the Philippines, and they everybody's watching it.
Mm,
That's why it probably got loads of views.
yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, and I see that you and Slim have become tight. You know, because afterwards as well, like I saw a lot of the TikToks that you guys were doing in Central London. You know, teasing being each other's opponents. He's saying he loves London, and I think he stayed for a little while longer. You went to the club together, putting your dance moves all up in there. I mean, how is it spending time with Slim? Because personally, like as a match as well for you two, that would be something I would really like to see.
Yeah, it will definitely happen one day. I like Slim, and he's a nice guy. Actually, had a good time with him, man. Very funny. And yeah, that match will definitely happen in the future when the time comes.
Yeah,
And yeah.
because I feel like when it gets to a certain point, because obviously JJ has said that after Jake Paul potentially he'll retire, and then obviously I feel that you two would be like the OGs in this. And it'd be almost like I feel the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 25 with you two in the ring, you being the Undertaker, him being Shawn Michaels. Well, maybe parallels. I don't know how it would work, but that would be one hell of a match. And that it's just interesting how things have developed. Like it's so beautiful how the YouTube boxing scene has evolved already. Like did you think that it would get so far that now we're in this position that everyone's becoming stars in the boxing scene?
Man, a year ago, man, I never thought I'd be here in this position. I never thought like boxing would get me
Mm.
paid, you know. So I wasn't I never took boxing seriously or anything just until last year. I never
Mm.
trained. I was fat, man. I was overweight.
Mm.
Like I was over 200 pounds. I
Mm.
wasn't really doing any exercise.
Mm.
And yeah, I'd like to thank Misfit Boxing for like giving me a platform, giving me something to focus on. So now all my focus is on exercise, fitness, boxing.
Mm. What was the
So
initial trigger that got you to the point of like, because your transformation is amazing. It's very inspiring. You're a brand new person, so it seems, and this confidence goes along with it. So, what triggered you to go like, okay, cool. I need to get my fitness right. I need to get my mind right. I'm taking boxing seriously. What was that trigger to get you there?
I like competitions a lot.
Mm,
I get obsessed. I want to
mm.
be the best, and that's what happening. That's what's happening right now.
And it definitely is, man. I mean, of course, it had been announced that Slim would vacate his Light Heavyweight Misfits Championship to go to his natural weight, and now you're getting that title shot. So, I mean, obviously, names that have been thrown around to be in the contender for you, like JJ, like Gibb, Deji, Anthony Taylor, King Kenny, Alex Wasabi, FaZe Temper. There's so many names that have been thrown out for your first, title opportunity. Who would you want to have that fight to get a shot at the title?
I really want to give.
Yeah. Okay. Because speaking of Gibb, you said in one of your recent vlogs that JJ is pushing for that fight to happen between you and Gibb.
Yeah.
You're hoping for it. Gibb was saying that he would want to fight in Misfits at the end of 2023, which was said on Twitter. And as he's pursuing like the big money fights, but he's also said on Twitter that he would put you in the hospital. I mean, where are we at with you and Gibb now? Like, because you said like in your vlog, just get the contract signed and let's go. Like, where are we at now with you and Gibb?
Like if he said he'll be willing to fight at the end of 2023, then I'll be waiting, and I'd like to see him try.
Okay, okay. I mean, what was it about Gibb that what makes him as a really good opponent for you? Because it's been teased a lot that that you and Gibb would be a good match to watch. But what is it that attracted you to Gib to be like the opponent that you want to face?
According to the pound per pound ranking, he's above me, so I want him.
So you wanted it out. So it's about like taking the spot where he is at now in
Yeah,
the rankings and stuff.
take him down. I want to take him down, and then KSI or Jake Paul.
Yeah, we're going to talk about them in a second as well, because I mean, there's other names that have been throwing it around, because at the moment, like, we're waiting for an opponent for you next. Even Anthony Taylor was saying that he would want to step it in the ring with you. Obviously, if the money's
everybody
right.
wants to fight me now. Everybody wants to
because
fight me.
because it seemed like it was
Because they
talked about
know.
that no one wants to fight you. Now everyone wants to fight you. So I mean, it's all flipped flopped at this point. I'm confused at this point.
I'm the new superstar now. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, look, because even that media workout when I spoke to you, after we did our interview, I didn't notice till afterwards that you had a little somewhat face off with King Kenny, and I believe that would also be an interesting fight. I mean, you confidently said, if you and Kenny were to ever get in the ring, you would look at Daly and tell him to throw in the towel. Like, you confidently said that. Now, when I spoke with Kenny during fight night, I asked him about what improvements he's been making on himself. Now, we've established that he's got a good jab, but he's saying that he's looking to work the body more, going different angles. Have you seen a lot of his training? Like, where would you think, in terms of, if you were to get in the ring with him, what would you do in your case?
I haven't really seen his training. I've seen some of his fights with, like, previously. But yeah, I'll take him out, man. They said they're not ready. I respect that, and I'll be waiting whenever they're ready.
Okay. Because I mean, look, other names that have been thrown about. I mean, if we're talking about JJ, I mean, you got to watch, like, the fight between him and Temper. Like, how did you rate his performance as far as the knockout? Because I saw, like, MVP as far as his influence in terms of how he gave the knockout to Temper, but how did you rate on his performance? Because I know there's been a lot of improvements on his end.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of improvements in JJ's boxing skills. Um, I still believe he needs to work on his defense. He's still reckless. He lunge in a lot of times, and if me and him fight, it'll be a different story.
Because I mean, because he was speaking on the Twitter Spaces recently, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this. That if he were to face you, that he wouldn't come in straight in like a madman, and then obviously he would adapt to every single fighter. Every fighter he would face, it would be a different approach. And obviously, you being southpaw and him being naturally orthodox, how would you approach it for your side to be like, okay, I understand his technique. This is where I'm going to counteract. Like, in your opinion, where would you think you stand on that?
I'm more than just a counter puncher. I can switch stance. So people haven't really seen what I can do in the ring. I can switch angles, all that stuff, and I think I have I'm the most defensive boxer in the influencer scene. And like you said, 100% HP, 200% shields. I'm untouched. Nobody can touch me. I'm the Floyd Mayweather of Misfit Boxing.
Ooh.
I'm the new pretty boy. I'm the Salt Papi.
Oh, wow.
JJ is like the Oscar de la Hoya of Misfit Boxing, and I'm taking over.
Wow. Dude, I'm liking the confidence there. Like, you've always have the uber confidence, and like it's there, bro. Like, I mean,
it's just all coming out. It's just all coming out. Like,
I know it's naturally. I can see, like, it's exuding right now, and
it's just coming out.
And obviously another person, Jake Paul. You said you wanted to face him as well. Now, as it stands at the moment, we got Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul. It could be delayed because, as has been reported, Tommy Fury is expecting a baby, so it might be delayed, or it might still be happening on the same date, February 25th. But regardless, for them to face each other, JJ was saying that if Jake Paul were to lose to Tommy Fury, that he would want to face Tommy Fury at the end of this year instead of Jake Paul, Because obviously, I'm thinking the philosophy of he's had his wins and Jake has had his wins. So for you now, like obviously, based on that result, if Jake were to lose to Tommy Fury, would the interest of you wanting to fight Jake Paul remain the same, or would it change based on result?
Man, whoever has the most bounty in the head, that's the guy I'm going for.
Mm. So it wouldn't matter who would have
It
the
wouldn't matter, man.
it wouldn't matter. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the fight plays out between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. I mean, you want the top dog in this space. So, for you to get Jake Paul, if the opportunity were to come to it, like how would you approach it in this manner? Because obviously you want JJ or Jake Paul at this point. So how would you approach that?
I think um I think Jake Paul is probably gonna win against Tommy Fury, and then KSI will fight Jake Paul, and yeah, and then whoever wins, I'm next.
Mm. I mean, it's so interesting how this space is coming to be at the moment. It's all exciting, right now. So I mean, if the opportunity were for you to face JJ, like I mean, I know you're southpaw, and naturally he's orthodox. Would you, if the opportunity came, would it be that you would change your approach to being orthodox in training to get to JJ, or would it still be that you would remain being southpaw?
Man, like I said, I'm the most slickest guy in the misfit boxing, man. I'm like the Jaron Ennis.
Mm,
These guys are nobodies. Like these guys are nothing. But
yeah.
we'll see, man. We'll see. They have to fight me while I'm still in shape, because when I get in shape, when I get the abs or the muscle, oh, it's over.
Wow, I mean I like the confidence is exuding. The
Like,
confidence is
imagine,
exuding.
imagine my confidence when all that happens.
Yeah, I mean,
Right now I'm still on my base form. It's not even.
so are you saying the base form and then you're pushing up to like a different level form as you rise up the ranks?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, it's so cool. At this point, everyone is becoming stars, and then for you, I
Like
mean,
um, like I'm still a bit chubby in it, so I still need to lose some weight, man. So when I get to my final form, I'll be very hard to beat.
so I mean, like, what's happening for you at the moment? Because I know that you're constantly training. So what's the vibe with you at the moment? Like, like what we looking at this end for you? Because obviously we're still waiting to find out like who your next opponent would be. Do you have like an inkling of who it may be? As I know who you want it to be, but would you have an inkling of who it would be?
We're not too sure. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my management and
Mm.
decide. We have to make smart decisions all the
Mm-hmm.
time. We have to think. We have to make sure that we're fighting the right opponent to get me to where I am, and then that's about it.
Yeah. So I mean, like, how's the training going for you at the moment? Because I know that from your vlogs that you're constantly training. So where are we at with that in the moment?
Um, Mostly I've been running,
Mm.
just running a lot, and yeah, because in the past for like Halalham or Andy Worski, I never really ran for my training. Now I started running. I feel more like fit, better cardio and stuff, and yeah, that's what I'm focusing on right now.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, you got a lot going for you. I mean, congratulations as well. Like you're being co-owner of Happy Punch Promotions. I got to give you a shout out to that as well. You
Thank
got a
you,
lot.
sir.
You got a lot going on for you, man. I mean, like what a meteoric rise. I mean, from doing TikToks in Five Guys to now being one of the most talked about boxers in this space. I've got to commend you on that. So, I mean, a massive congratulations to your success so far, and I wish you nothing more but success going forward in this space.
Thank you, sir.
So I mean, just the last couple of things, really. Like, what would be your cheat day meals? Like when you have a day to yourself, and you want to really dive in. What's your cheat day meal?
Um, I always have cheat day every day. I just I just try to eat eat less of it.
Yeah.
So I don't really care. I don't really watch what I eat. I still
Okay.
eat whatever I want to eat,
Okay.
and yeah, that makes me happy, and um makes me happy with myself, and gives me more like energy to do in my exercise, so I can eat whatever I want again.
I hear you. I hear you. So the more exercise, the more training you do, the more fun that you can
Yeah,
have with food, and you don't have to
yeah,
restrict yourself too much. Yeah, I wish I could say
yes,
the
sir.
same and say for me, but that the the healthy tip is not so much on my side really. So it's something I got to improve on myself personally. But it is what it is on my end. And I just wanted to finally end off on who would be your top 5 influencer boxers in your end right now.
Um,
Top
I
5.
would say so. Five. I'll put I'll put Gib now. Four, Slim. Okay. Three, KSI. Second, me. First, Jake Paul.
Okay, okay. Because I honestly thought for a second that you was going to put yourself at number 1, but obviously you want to
Yeah.
fight the top dog. Okay, cool. That's quite an honest assessment. I like how you went about that there. So,
Like
uh,
KSI thinks he's better than me, then they should fight me, or Gabe, or like or Kenny or whoever.
yeah, because it's
I
been
I should put myself on the top. So if they think they can beat me, come find me.
yeah. I mean, we'll see how things play out. Because the final thing is that because it's been talked about that the most likely opponent for JJ would be Joe Fournier. Because
Sorry.
I remember you were saying that if JJ or Jake Paul doesn't end up being for you in terms of opponents, that talks of you going pro or even putting your feet in MMA, like if JJ and Jake Paul don't happen, then what are we looking at for you in terms of like, pushing yourself up the ranks? Like, what's the vibe that you be thinking?
Wherever's the money is, man, I'm there.
Mm.
Just want to make my money and bounce.
I hear you. I hear you totally on that, man. Well, I mean, Salt Papi, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk with you, my brother. I'm glad for your success. Again, congratulations on your win against Josh Brueckner. I got to give Josh Brueckner his flowers as well for putting up his effort with you in the ring. I wish you nothing but the best, and I'm looking forward to seeing the fights that are coming up for you. As you are the most one of the most talked about boxers in this space, only things can get better for you. So I wish you nothing but the best, my bro.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I
All
hope
right.
Josh Brueckner gets a fight now, because he's one of the most avoided fighter in influencer scene. Nobody wants to fight this guy before.
And,
So and
and obviously he stepped in the ring with you, and it's just like, wow, okay, cool. Let's get my feet in the ring. Let's get myself in the ring against Josh.
yeah,
All right. Well, I mean, look, we're we're all of you guys in this space are building up, and you're all stars, and what I love about the influencer boxers scene is that everyone is built as stars, and not just the main event that's talked about from
yeah.
beginning to end. Everyone's being talked about, so
Yeah,
you
I'd
know
like to thank KSI and Mama Taylor, Mr. Boxing, for giving me this amazing opportunity, man. I didn't even know I can box this good.
I mean, the platform's there, man. I got to give massive respect to JJ and KSI and Mams Taylor for building such a beautiful platform, and obviously being with the Zone for 5 years now. Things can only get bigger for you guys, especially including yourself as building up the ranks of this in this space, man. So congratulations on everything, and I wish you nothing but the best, and I'm looking forward to who you'll be facing next.
Thank you, sir. Looking forward to it as well.
All right, cool, man. Well, hopefully I'll see you on the next card, whenever that is. I'll probably likely be talking to you, and hopefully when I do get to see you next, that I'll get to do a nice little face-off with you, because I didn't get to do it. I didn't get to do it last time, but I mean, obviously a visual. This wouldn't really do it justice. So hopefully when I see you next, I'm ready for you, bro. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Definitely. Definitely.
All right, cool, man. Well, I'll leave you to it. Big up you, and thank you for so much for taking the time, and hope to see you on the next event, my bro.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
Peace
then.
out.
Take it easy, man. Peace.